Hi my loves, in today's video we are going to talk about where I would start if I was rebuilding my self-esteem. Like if I had to start from the very beginning, okay, completely lost my sense of self-worth, completely lost who I am, maybe in a relationship or just in general, I just don't value myself and now I'm starting this journey of getting back on track. This is where I would start. If you're new here, my name is Ladette, and on this channel we talk all about inner work, self-love, positive self-talk, and honestly just showing up for yourself. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, definitely stick around because I'm going to drop some gems in this video and you definitely don't want to miss any of them. Also, before I get into the actual steps and suggestions that I have, I do want to share a story time. So if you're someone who wants to bypass this part, totally okay. I don't take offense. You can use the chapters below to kind of sift through the video and see what it is that you need to hear today. But if you want to stick around for story time, let's get into it. I completely lost my sense of self-worth when I was in a relationship in college, okay? It was my first real serious relationship, and this is the example that I really like to give when I talk about self-worth because prior to meeting this person, oh my God, I thought I was so confident. I thought I had all the self-love in the world. I thought that I was a very strong woman, like very independent, very into myself, like that I had boundaries and that I knew how to exercise them, that I knew how to speak up for myself. And the relationship that I manifested in college just really like shook up my world, and it really shackled my life in the sense that it really showed me, oh my God, wow, the things that I said I would never do in a relationship, like, letting someone talk over me, letting someone, and by the way, saying letting, right? Because I let this person, talk to me the way they did. I let this person not be a great partner. I let this person not be, you know, the ideal person that I would want to be with. Like I let them get away with so much, and I let them, and I was too afraid to leave them. And it really just showed me how over time I just completely lost myself. I didn't know how to stick up for myself. I didn't know how to communicate what I needed. I totally lost myself in that relationship, you guys. And it's okay, and I'm glad that I did, because me completely losing like any little bit of self-love and self-respect and self-love that I had allowed me to see how much work I really needed to do. And it allowed me to see how shakable I was and how shakable my reality was. I wasn't as strong and as grounded in who I was as I thought that how do I want to say that? Like I wasn't as grounded as I thought that I was, right? For this person to come into my life and over time just completely, you know, shake it up and all that stuff. And so once me and this person got out of the relationship that we were in, eventually, right down the road, I just had so much work to do, right? Like, as you can imagine. And the biggest challenge that I actually faced was forgiving myself. That was the hardest part. It wasn't even the fact that me and this person were together for so long. It wasn't, that I really loved the people that I met through him. It was none of that. It was really just, it wasn't even the fear of starting over or the sadness of, starting from scratch. It was literally the how eye-opening it was for me to like reflect and see, wow, I stopped loving myself. And that genuinely made me so sad, because who wants to admit, like, damn, I was not loving myself, especially for that long. It's not a great feeling, but it's okay, because that's where, you give yourself the permission to forgive yourself and do the work and to learn the lessons over time that you needed to learn so that you can apply it in the next relationship or whatever the case is. And so yeah, that relationship really shambled up my life and my world, but it was through the breakup and the years after that I was able to learn, why did I lose myself? Why was it that I allowed this person to, be the way that they were with me? Why did I not stick up for myself? And honestly, you guys, over time, what was really great about it is like I would go and reflect, and I would go back and I would go deep, and I would like close my eyes and just remember certain conversations and certain feelings that I felt, and like I would just go back, in my mind, right? And like it's like I could almost see myself in that person, and then as I'm reflecting, I would like I would see it, and I'd be like, okay, in this moment, this is what we could have said. And not judging myself, by the way, but just kind of like almost going back in time, and like if I could redo it, thinking about what would I have said, in what way would I have loved myself here, in what opportunities or moments would I have walked away, and allowing myself to do that in my mind. Honestly, like it allowed me to really see how I would react the next time something like that happened, if it did. And so as I kind of went into my mind, forgave the person, forgave the situation, forgave myself, but reflected on what lesson I learned, it allowed me to start like applying those lessons in like next relationships, when I would date guys, or when I would start a new relationship. And all the relationships I've been in since that particular relationship, there's been a lesson that I have taken with me and applied it. And so something that I think is so important here is whatever situation that you're in, whatever it was that caused you to maybe lose a little bit of self-worth, or maybe you're feeling like you have low self-esteem and that situation contributed to it, allow yourself to go there, in your mind, and reflect on what exactly was it that contributed to the way that you're feeling now, and what lessons are there that you can apply, in the future, if that situation happens again, or whether it does or not, right? But what is the lesson that you can take from it, and in what way can you love yourself through that lesson? Because at the end of the day, you're still here, and I'm proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for doing whatever you need to do to work on your self-love, to work on your self-worth, and you got this. Like, I completely believe in you. The fact that you love yourself enough and care enough about yourself to whatever search term you search to find this video shows me you fucking care about yourself, because you're actually trying to do something about building your self-worth or your self-love, and I'm just proud of you. So give yourself a shout out, okay? But yeah, going back into the story, I had to be brave enough to sit there and be like, damn, why? Like, I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. This person that I was with was talking to other girls and would try to convince me, but Ladette, like, I'm still with you. Like, I'm not actually cheating on you. I'm just talking to other girls because, like, I never got attention when I was younger, and like, it's not my fault that I'm with you now. And yo, you guys, I'm sorry. Like, when I think about it, I'm just like, girl, like, that's crazy, because I just would never entertain that now. If I'm with a man and he tells me that, he's flirting with other girls, I'd be like, okay, go flirt with other girls. You just can't be with me while you do that. There's no us if your attention is somewhere else. Like, I'm so sorry. And I'm not afraid to be alone now. I'm not afraid to be by myself. I lived by myself the last 3 years. Like, I have learned to really love being alone, and it's not to say I'm close-hearted. I'm not. Like, I love, and I'm ready to receive love. I'm ready for it, right? But I'll be damned, y'all. I'll be so damned if I allow someone to give me even a fraction less than what I'm giving them in a relationship. Absolutely not. And with that partner that I was with, I was okay with it. I actually wasn't okay with it, but I made it seem like I was, because in my mind, I was like, well, I don't want to lose him, and I don't want to, I don't want to be alone, and I don't want to start over. So I allowed a person to give me less than what I deserved out of a fear of being alone. And it's like, it blows my mind. It really does. But I'm so grateful for that, because that is what really set my trajectory with being okay with being alone, was the fact that I will never allow myself to be in that place ever again, because I love myself enough to, I'm not going to do that. And so I can honestly just go on and on. And if you want more tea on this, like, I'm happy to do another story time. Comment down below and let me know, like, if I should go more into this. But for the purpose of this video, I kind of want to wrap this story time right here and just let y'all know that even if you're at the lowest of low, you've completely lost all of your self-worth, you feel like it's not there, you can get it back. And you know what? Even though this might sound crazy, what a beautiful thing that is, to completely have lost yourself and lost your self-worth. It's so beautiful, because guess what? You get to build from scratch. You literally get to rebuild your foundation, and you get to build it how you want. You literally get to start from scratch. And that's the way that I viewed it. I was like, you know what? This sucks. I'm going to be honest and acknowledge my feelings. I was like, this sucks. But you know what? I get to rebuild my foundation, and I get to build it from scratch, which means that shit is going to be motherfucking rock hard. Okay. I get to mold that shit how I want to, and then build up from there. And it's just a blessing, y'all. So just know I believe in you, and you got this. And, it might be hard at times, and you might not feel great, but it's okay. This is the journey, and you'll get there. I promise that you'll get there. So with that being said, let's get into the steps that I have for you guys. So number one is going to be to acknowledge the feelings that you have. And this might feel scary. And I want to be honest with you guys. Like, it might feel scary. Like, oh shit, I have to sit here and acknowledge that I feel like crap. And I have to acknowledge what is contributing to it. That might not feel great. But I promise you, like, when you go in and you can be so honest with yourself, and identify what is it that makes you not have self-worth. What is it that makes you have low self-esteem? What is it that's taking your energy and your power from you really being into who you are and fully loving yourself? You take the power back. Like the biggest thing from this is that you're going to take your power back. And I want to say do this when you're ready, but I also don't want you to focus on that too much, right? Because when are we really ready to start doing inner work, right? Like it's like you just kind of have to start. Like you really just kind of have to start this process. And so if you're watching this and you're like, all right, I'm ready to do this, then let's go, baby. You got it. Journal about it, write it in your phone, talk to a friend. But what contributes to these feelings? What is it? Is it a person? Is it something someone is saying to you? Is it certain people you're hanging out with? Is it maybe a person that you're with? Maybe your job? I don't know, right? But like start identifying what exactly is making me not feel great, and simultaneously, why am I allowing this? Okay, and this, I'm asking you guys to take a little bit of accountability here, and out of love. I'm asking out of love. In what ways are there these things in your life that don't make you feel good, but in what ways do you allow them to? Is it like myself, for example, because I'm not judging anyone, and I do want to be sensitive about this topic, but like I allowed my ex to not be a great partner. I stayed in that relationship, and anytime he was having these conversations with these girls, and then at the same time convincing me that he wasn't cheating, because it's not like he was, doing the nasty. When I would still love on him and I would still accept him, even though he was literally telling me those things, I was encouraging him to continue entertaining conversations with other women. I was, even if I didn't say, hey, go and flirt with these girls. I love that for me and I love that for you. Because I still stayed with him, my actions spoke louder than words anyway, because I was allowing that behavior. I was not stepping into my power. And so in what ways are you not stepping into your power? In what ways are you not taking accountability for the life that you want to live, and also for obviously if you're watching this video, it's like the goal here is, right, more confidence, more self-love. And so in what ways are you like kind of preventing that from happening into your own life? And so reflect on that as long as you need to. You can always journal about this, like I said, and I'm happy to include some journaling prompts in the description for you all as well, or I'll have it somewhere over here, just some deep questions that you can ask yourself. But start identifying, well, what makes me not feel great? Because when you can identify it, it's like, okay, well then I'm going to stop doing that, or I'm going to start doing this, or I'm going to remove myself from the situation, or maybe I need to have this conversation with this person. So that is going to be step one. Step two is going to be to identify like what makes you feel good. What things make you feel happy? What things make you feel sexy? What things make you feel like a bad bee? Okay, what makes you feel alive and just deeply fills your soul and makes you so excited to live your life and be present, and all the good feelings, right? Maybe it's traveling. Maybe there's a certain outfit that you have that's like your favorite outfit that just makes you feel good. Maybe it is going to the gym, or maybe it's like a spa day. Maybe it's hanging out with your boys, like whatever it is. What makes you feel good? And in what ways can you tap more into that energy? And this is where I love being playful, because you guys, like, it doesn't matter, if you're an adult watching this, like, we can be playful. Like, just because we're adults doesn't mean we can't be imaginative or creative in our mind. Like, find ways to kind of mimic those feelings, because that's going to put you in a high vibration, and that's going to keep you in a place where you can attract better and more positive things into your life anyway. And I don't want to get too deep into that right now, but it's true. Like, when you're feeling happy, when you're feeling great, when you're feeling good, it's like a ripple effect. Like, more things come into your life that make you feel happy and good and alive and excited, versus when you're feeling low and sad and you're not feeling great about yourself, you tend to stay there until you really put in an effort to get yourself out of it. So find ways to replicate those good feelings. So like one example that I can give is I really love traveling, let me be honest. And the reason why is because it's just a new city, new people, new food. It's like, it's exciting. I feel adventurous, but right, I'm not in a position where I can just say screw it and take a trip every single month yet. Okay, we're manifesting it. But I can still replicate that feeling of fun and excitement, feeling good and happy by taking a staycation. Like, I can literally drive an hour. The mountains are like an hour away from where I live. I can stay up there for a night if I really want to. And it's still that exciting feeling because it's like, oh, this is different. I'm not always up here. So in my mind, I'm like, it's still a new environment. It's still, you know, in a way, new people and possibly even new food, depending on where exactly like I'm driving up to in the mountains. So you can replicate these emotions and be intentional about keeping yourself in an elevated spirit, because the longer you can stay in that, the more that you're just going to naturally start feeling that way. You're going to naturally just start feeling happy and feeling good about yourself and feeling like, damn, like I do take charge and ownership of my life. And like I said, like you get to be so creative and playful with this. Maybe it's, you know, since we're talking specifically about self-esteem, like I would definitely try an outfit that makes you feel good. Like, maybe whatever, maybe it's like some lingerie. I don't know, you don't have to wear it for anyone. You don't have to be in a relationship to wear lingerie. You know, if you're a man listening to this, like there's some stuff y'all can wear too. Like, you can have fun with this. Like, what makes you feel sexy, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel alive in your body and your skin. Like, maybe you do an at-home spa day, like, and treat yourself to like a face mask, an eye mask, and you like make some juices at home and you drink like a nice, you know, cucumber lemonade, whatever. But finding these ways and being intentional about like making yourself feel good is definitely going to help with boosting your self-esteem. And kind of going into step number 3, I know how to count, I promise, is just to like be, I don't want to say be realistic, because I'm actually all about being delusional, because I feel like being realistic almost puts you in a box. Like, don't be realistic, be delusional, live out your most wildest dreams. But what I'm trying to say here is like, create these, like, let's say we'll call them goals. We're just going to call them goals for now, of things that you can, you know, challenge yourself to do to lift your spirits and to start feeling better about yourself. So if you're maybe someone who right now you're just like, you know, body image is maybe the thing that you're having a harder time with, maybe your goal is, okay, you know, this month I'm gonna be more intentional about, you know, getting active movement. Like, don't, the thing is, guys, don't stress yourself, don't force yourself to do things you don't want to do, and don't make this something you dread. Okay, make it a simple ass goal. So maybe the goal is, I'm just gonna be intentional this month. I'm gonna get more movements in. I'll do some yoga. I'm gonna, you know, do more walking. Maybe I'll get 10,000 steps in Monday through Thursday, whatever. Okay. You know yourself best. So set these goals that you know you can do that get you excited. Um, but yeah, you wanna have something that you can kind of like look at and like, okay, here's the plan. Like, we are gonna do this, and in a month, I just know I'm gonna be feeling so good. And have it be something that you know you can look back on and say, oh my God, I put in this work and I actually am feeling amazing, because that's gonna build your confidence. And that's why I like to, when I do say set a goal, I like these to be simple goals, because the mind doesn't care. Like, if you achieve something that you said you were going to do and you kept that promise to yourself, you're going to boost your confidence and your self-esteem. You will, because it's like, oh my God, I can keep my word to myself. That feels good. And look at me taking care of myself and my health and whatnot. Like, that feels good. So step 3 is just going to be all about creating goals that you know you can do, but they have to be goals that mean something to you. If it's a goal you don't care about, you're not going to do it. And that's actually it's gonna backtrack, because then you're gonna feel like, oh, I set this goal and I didn't do it, I suck. Like, wow, no wonder I have low self-esteem. You know, you don't want to backtrack here. We want to make sure that we set ourselves up for success. And I just want to say that if you're someone who struggles with setting goals, if you're someone who would like a little bit of extra help, I offer one-on-one coaching. I also do free consultations if you're just wanting to like get a feel for like, okay, is this right for me? Like, is this something that I want to do and is this something that I want to invest in? So definitely check out the description below. I'll have a link where you can book a free consultation with me and we can kind of chat about what your goals are and what it is that you're looking for. Okay, step number 4 is prioritize self-care. And I know I kind of mentioned that in the last step, but like, this is an absolute must. If you're in a position where you're really just trying to feel good about yourself, babe, you got to do some self-care. And I feel like I have a video, by the way, and I'll link it over here somewhere, about, you know, free self-care ideas you could do, because what I was gonna say is I feel like sometimes people think, oh my God, self-care, like this person wants me to drop $100 on, I don't know, a freaking massage, or all this money to, like, whatever, get like my nails done, whatever, whatever, whatever. But it's like, no, dude, like self-care can be free. It can be so simple. It can be meditation. It could just be quiet time. It could be a 10-minute walk. But the thing with self-care when it comes to specifically boosting your self-worth is that it does have to be consistent. So if you're only doing self-care once a month, like, are you genuinely going to feel better about yourself? Probably not. Probably not, because once a month, like, you deserve more of that time. You deserve more of that loving energy, that loving energy, and only you can give that to yourself. That's the thing about self-care and self-love and self-worth, is it doesn't matter what people are doing and how much people pour into you. If you yourself are not pouring into yourself, it doesn't really matter what people do for you or what people say to you that's nice, the compliments and whatnot. Like, you got to really just show up for yourself. So yes, I'm not going to go too deep into the self-care because I do have a video. And so definitely make sure to check that out if you're interested in getting some inspiration and some ideas. But the main thing here is prioritize yourself. You have to. The next thing is going to be to surround yourself with positivity. And I love this because this can look like so many different things. It could be friends who just give so much love and life into you, friends who are just positive, good people that you have. It could be watching a love movie. I don't know. And for some people, maybe that might be contradicting, right? Like, you're already not feeling good. Maybe a love movie is not going to make you feel that great. But for others, maybe it will. Maybe just seeing that, like, you know what? I know that this exists. It might be the thing that gives you some inspiration and a little bit of hope to, you know, work on yourself and to do whatever it takes for you to have the life that you want to have, essentially. But yeah, surround yourself with positivity. Go to a park and take your journal and, whatever, express yourself, but also be so present in the little kids playing. And, 'cause I just love being around. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite. Like, when I'm having a bad day, hanging out with my nephews, hanging out with children in general, because oh my god, the shit that kids say, dude, kids are so funny. I love being around kids, even though they can be a little bit crazy and sometimes a bit much. Just the spirit of a child and, like, their playfulness, their energy, their happiness, their innocence, like, that rubs off on you. Sure enough, if you're someone who's like, no, kids are annoying, but like, if you just go with an open mind and you go with the intention of just viewing kids for the loving, pure, innocent souls that they are, like, you'll see, like, just how playful and fun and loving and kind spirited that kids really are. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful thing. Like, we're so lucky to have children in our life. So find wherever it is that you need to find that positivity. Join a Facebook group. You can join, there's so many clubs, groups, you guys. Like, there's breathwork classes. Maybe you live in an area where, there's an event center where they host breathwork sessions or meditation sessions. Like, if you're someone who's like, I don't have positive friends, I feel you, but at the same time, go and find them. How resourceful are you to find what exactly you need to help, lift yourself up? Like, you don't have to stay in, the position that you're in right now. Find these people. If you don't have them, find them, because they're there. They're literally there. When I tell you guys, I went to an event last year. It was like a spiritual event. I'm not even kidding. There's like 8 people in my group of friends now that I consider, because before it was like 2, which it's not about quantity, but like, because I went to this one event where all, like, literally there was over 1,000 people who were at this event, who were all there to heal their mind, to heal their hearts, to heal their souls. I ended up meeting like 8 people who I'm now like, oh my God, thank you, universe. Like, because these are like the best people I've ever met. These are all people who are working on themselves. They're doing the inner work. They're showing up. They're loving themselves. And it motivates me when I'm not having a great day, because I can lean on any one of them. And even if I'm not leaning on them, the fact that I get on social media and I'm like, oh my God, she hit the gym today. Oh my God, I see him with his like meditation over here. He's sharing these meditation techniques with his Instagram friends. Like, I'm just seeing all this positive content, and it's like, it is just so exciting and fulfilling, because I feel like left and right and front and back, I'm hit with just positive information or a positive post, like, or just a positive conversation, like a conversation that has me feeling so good after I have it. And that is because I literally went to this event, put myself in that environment and I found all these people who have a similar mindset. So be resourceful, y'all. Okay, don't sleep on your resourcefulness to figure things out when you really need to, because at the end of the day, in the same way that, you know, you're kind of in this situation, it's the same way you can get out. Just because you kind of fell into this like bubble of like, okay, I'm not feeling great, does not mean you have to stick there. There's a way in, there's a way out. Okay, that's all that I'm saying here. Number 6, step number 6 is going to be to learn something new. And I love this because this is hands down going to build your self-esteem and your self-worth. Like when you learn something new and you can sit there and say, hey, I know how to do this and I did it before, that's kind of cool. Like you have literally become a better version of yourself by simply learning how to do something new. Like y'all, a year ago, because I just started this YouTube channel in November, so it's been like 7 months. I did not know how to use CapCut prior to starting this YouTube channel. I did not know how to do video editing, and it's not to say that I necessarily know how to do it now, but it's like I do it. I do it anyway. Like before, something that would take me hours to figure out how to do when it comes to video editing, now it's like maybe an hour or two, and it's because I just figured it out. I literally watched YouTube tutorials of people using CapCut, of how to use Canva to do a thumbnail. Like I learned, so allowed myself to learn how to do it because it was something I cared about and something I felt like was going to make me better in general. So I would definitely say, you know, err on the side of picking things that actually mean something to you. Like if I sat here and picked, you know, I want to learn how to, you know, I want to learn more about cars. I would personally be setting myself up for success because, or not success, sorry, for failure, because I don't care about cars. I'm not interested in cars. So if I say I'm going to learn about cars and then I don't, I'm putting myself in a position where I might feel bad because, damn, here's another thing that I said I was going to start that I didn't finish. You see how that works? Pick the things that you know you're going to be successful at. Pick the things that matter to you, that you care about, that you actually have interest in, and watch how as you evolve and you learn something new and maybe even start teaching others, how that naturally is going to build your self-esteem. Okay, so learn something new and let me know down below when you do. Okay, I would love for you to comment down below and let me know, Ladette, I learned how to do this, or Ladette, I learned how to, I don't know, I learned about cars. Okay, I know you said you don't like cars, but I do, and I learned about them. Or maybe you learn about stocks and trading, and I don't know, maybe learn about like proper form for working out. I don't know, but I would love to hear it because I think that's also a great way to keep yourself accountable. Maybe, you know, you haven't learned the thing yet, but you're going to commit to. So even if you're like, okay, Ladette, this is what I'm going to learn how to do, this is going to be my new skill, I want to hear from you. So let me know down below in the comments. Step number 7 is going to be to invest in a coach or to invest in a therapist. And now this is for those of you who feel like maybe you feel like you need a little bit more help. Not everyone does. Like, I'm not going to lie, I have a therapist and I've been seeing my therapist for 3 years because when I was starting therapy 3 years ago, I was really struggling to do certain things on my own. And I really just felt like I could benefit from having some accountability. You know, I meet with my therapist once a month and I love it because I can say, hey, you know, last month, these were my goals and this month, this is what I did. And to just kind of assess like, you know, am I keeping myself accountable? If I'm not, why, what came up, etc., etc. And so, and I know that's not accessible for everyone. And so that's why I say this last step is optional because you can do a lot of things yourself. I'm going to be totally honest with y'all. A lot of the self-work that I've done, a lot of the self-love, a lot of the rebuilding, just, you know, how I see myself happened before I even saw a therapist. This has been like 10 years of work in the making, if I'm being quite honest. And a lot of it was stuff I just kind of did on my own, you know, by watching YouTube videos, by, you know, finding mini courses that I could take, by attending, you know, classes in person, combination of, you know, therapists, right? But if and when you are able, I think it really helps at the very core here of what I'm saying, having accountability. And that could be a friend, that could be a partner, that could be, I don't know, a teacher. It doesn't have to always be monetary. It doesn't always have to be you paying somebody. For some people, that's what works. Some people, it's like, nope, I will pay someone to help me, like to like for the accountability, to give me ideas, someone who can like sit here and like work through my thoughts with me. Great. If you do that, awesome. But if not, that's okay too, because there's so many resources online you could utilize, and it really goes back down to how resourceful are you to finding resources that you need that are going to help you. So number 7, at the very least, I would just say, is finding someone, again, whether it's a friend, a coach, a partner, whatever, to to just have a little bit of that accountability with, but also like that safe space, really, because what does accountability look like when you're building your self-worth, right? Like maybe you just need to have someone who you trust that you can be vulnerable with, of like, hey, I'm not feeling that great today. And then that person might be that reminder, and by letting you know, maybe they say, why are you not feeling great today? Or maybe it's just someone who can remind you of like, but look at, you showed up today, you still showed up today. And sometimes you just need that reminder. So find that one person who can be that for you. And I really want to also emphasize too that you don't necessarily want to be, dependent on somebody saying like, hey, you're doing great today, because at the end of the day, the goal is, of course, to validate yourself. But because we're specifically talking about for a person who is just getting into rebuilding themselves, I think it's okay to have that person. I think it's completely fine to have a person that you trust remind you, they're your go-to to help you, remind you that, hey, no, babe, you're killing it, you're crushing it, you got this, keep going. It's okay to have those people in your life. So that's all I have for you all. If you found any sort of value and you're feeling really good after watching this video, definitely give this video a like. That really helps me see that this content is valuable, and it gives me an idea of future content that I could create for you all. And also, don't forget to subscribe. That really helps me with the YouTube algorithm and reaching more people. That's all I have. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!